Hello, right, we've got another NDE, near-death experience phone call here from the line, which went out on the 2nd of July, 2023. It's Dave calling in from Georgia. Let's find out what he's got to say about his near-death experience.
And I'm happy to hear your near-death story, but let's not turn it into a co-hosting long life story thing.
No, it will not be. And thank you
Sweet.
for taking my call.
No worries.
Almost 4 years ago, I had a heart attack and essentially died.
Believe me, he didn't die.
I have no memory from the time I had the heart attack until 2 days later. I remember nothing. I did not meet Jesus. There was no bright light. I didn't meet any dead relatives. I did have one image from then, and that was when I woke up. I remember an image of somebody being transferred from one ambulance to another under an underpass. That's all that I remember from that. Now, all of my theist friends and relatives, have come up with all kinds of explanations for that, which I have completely discounted.
Well, the question is, was he actually transferred from one ambulance to another under an underpass? I mean, did the ambulance, after picking him up after he got his heart attack, break down under the underpass, and then another ambulance came along and they had to transfer him? Did he ask that question? Or is this just some random image that he remembered, or, that his mind made up when he woke up?
My mother-in-law had a near-death experience, which was exactly the opposite. And this was actually before I met her, so this was many, many, many years ago. And she said, after they revived her on the operating table, she opened her eyes and said, "Why did you bring me back?"
Yeah, because it's quite possible that she had a beautiful dream, that while she was undergoing resuscitation, her mind might well have created this sort of beautiful feeling with endorphins, dopamines, or whatever. And she had this beautiful sensation, and she woke up, and that was such an amazing experience. Naturally, she didn't want to be pulled out of it. Other than that, I would completely discount that hearsay anecdote.
So completely opposite. Here is the issue that I've got with this near-death experience, or actually with my heart attack. I live alone.
By the way, note that he's now retreated from saying that it's a near-death experience. He called in, first of all, saying that he died. And then he said it's a near-death experience. Now he's saying that it was a heart attack. So it's changing all the time. Oh, and he also said that he had absolutely no memory for 2 days after the heart attack happened. And then he's saying that when he woke up, he had this image of somebody being transferred from one ambulance to another under an underpass. So he's already full of lies.
And I happened to be in front of my students, sitting in a chair in the front of the room when I had my heart attack. In the next room was somebody who had just recertified with CPR.
Okay, note what he said there. Somebody in the next room had recertified with CPR. So there's somebody in the next room who already had this skill of doing CPR for some time, and they had recertified. Had they not recertified and they'd been told a heart attack was happening, I'm fairly sure they would have helped out, that they would have gone to the scene and quite competently administered CPR. But I'd also like to say that he's in an educational institution. I've been to colleges, I've been to universities. There are loads of people trained in CPR. In every college, at least in the UK, one member of staff is assigned medical duties. And part of that is they've got to be trained in CPR. So it's not unusual at all to find people basically trained in CPR. It's quite a common skill, really.
And the school had just installed AEDs in all of the buildings, not more than 3 months before.
Okay, listen to that. He said they'd installed these AEDs, and then he added at the end, not less than 3 months before. So within the last 3 months, they had actually installed this. It's not like they installed it yesterday. And even if they had, it wouldn't make any difference to the overall claim. They'd installed it within the last 3 months. Again, it's just health and safety equipment, which most educational institutions, at least in the UK, have got anyway.
And as an engineer, I have a really hard time with coincidences.
Well, that's a strange statement. What's being an engineer got to do with it? The only people that have got trouble with coincidences are those that probably are engaged in a bit of confirmation bias and searching around for coincidences to support an irrational belief that they've got. I mean, being an engineer really should make him more critical about drawing unjustified conclusions from unremarkable coincidences.
And everything seemed to be in my favor to survive this heart attack. And luckily, the doctor said that there was no damage to the heart muscle. So I want to hear your thoughts on these coincidences, because I'm still struggling to explain this. And I've been doing this since the heart attack.
Explain what? Universities are required to have AEDs and have them certified, or at least most of them are. I know they are in Texas. And it's not surprising to me it's not surprising to me that it's not, it's so.
Yeah, they just installed it 3 months ago. He said, not less than, what did he say? Not more than 3 months, or well, he used a time scale of 3 months, not less than 3 months ago. So it wasn't like they were installed yesterday.
What? It's not surprising to me that on a campus, oh my God, never mind. You don't want to hear anything.
But I don't live with.
No, you don't want to hear anything. No, that's fucking clear.
Yeah. Okay. Can I say one thing?
No, sir. You don't get to say anything else, because you called and asked, and we'd let you tell your story. And then you asked what I thought about it. And I couldn't finish one fucking sentence on multiple occasions to try to tell you what I thought about it, which makes it clear you're not interested in what I have to say, are you?
Okay, yeah, so he did actually hang up. Obviously, the conversation did not go how he expected. I don't really know what he thought that they were going to do with this, that they were going to validate his belief, it seems to me, that the stars were lined up for him to survive that heart attack. Because two very common things, which I wouldn't even really particularly call coincidences. I mean, it's almost like saying, it's a coincidence that I fell over, that there was a chair in the classroom and I happened to land on the chair. It's almost as ridiculous as that. They do have health and safety equipment, and they do have people trained in CPR in schools and colleges. It's not remarkable at all. But supposing it wasn't remarkable and that these were impressive coincidences, what conclusion was he looking to draw? Or what conclusion maybe had he drawn already from this, that God was somehow looking out for him and stacked everything in his favor, so that when he had a heart attack, rather than using his own powers as an all-powerful God to prevent him from having that heart attack, he let him have the heart attack, and then he arranged it so that CPR would be on hand and resuscitation equipment would also be on hand. I don't know what subject he's teaching, but it's certainly not critical thinking. Okay, guys, that's all for now. Let me know what you thought about that. I'd be really interested, but I don't think that he had any sort of remarkable evidence there at all for anything. Okay, bye for now.